Hi students, it's time for art class, and before we do Godzilla of the Week, let's talk about turning in artwork. So, so we've had a lot of time to finish artwork, and I still have a lot of artwork that hasn't been turned in. So make sure you turn in your artwork. Now, where do you turn in your artwork? In your classroom during pod time, there is a big art folder, and you can just bring it and put it in there. Or if your teacher wants you to give it to her, then you just, or him, you give it to that teacher, and then they'll put it in the art folder. But you could just say, I need to turn in my art. And they'll be like, there's the folder. You put it in there, right? So make sure you turn in your artwork. I do grade the artwork, and so you want to get a grade. So turn it in, and our deadline for the end of the trimester is coming, at the end of October. So make sure you get all your artwork in. Now, I was using zeros as placeholders, but there was some confusion that students were getting an F. But I tried to tell you that was just a placeholder, and so a lot of students kind of missed that idea. So instead of a zero, there's going to be there's an orange square now, and it represents missing. So I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you have a key that tells you that the orange box means missing, but if you have an orange square where your grade should be, that means I do not have your project. Now, if you've turned in your project and and you have an orange square, then that means I didn't get it. So maybe you can check in your classroom, or you could email me. But it might be because you didn't put your name on your paper. Okay, so I have a lot of those projects, and I'll show some of them in when we get to your art. But I have some no names, and so I can't really grade you. I don't know who you are. I don't know who that paper is, right? So it's real important that you put your name on your paper, and it's really important that you turn in your artwork. Also, some of you are working very hard, and you're awesome. Good job. But remember, art class is meant to be worked on every week, right? That's why I make a video every week, and then I make the video, and you watch the video, and then you do it during the week. And I'm getting the impression from some of my students that I'm talking to, they're like, sounds like, oh yeah, I haven't done that yet, like from a month ago. So make sure you stay on top of all your artwork, right? Because if you do it week to week, it doesn't take very long if you do it every week, right? And you do it, and then you'll be finished, and it'll be much easier to turn in your artwork. Because like I said, what you don't want to do is you don't want to wait till the last week or two and then try to finish up all your artwork, because you won't enjoy it, and you'll rush through it, and you'll be frustrated. And you don't want to be frustrated. Of course not. So make sure you finish your work every week. You don't have to show me your progress every week. Just you need to, when you finish it, you turn in your final project, or you can submit it to Canvas. You can take a picture of your final project. For instance, 6th grade did the Cut Line series. It's 3 different parts, right? There's 3 different projects. Some students showed me, every week. They showed me I did this one, then I did this one, then I did this one, right? But really, you only need to show me all 3 of them at the end. So if you are, and that was due this last Thursday, right? The 24th. So if you finished all 3 of those, you don't have to submit them 3 times. Just show me, like for the 3rd week, you can just take a picture of it, all 3 of them together, and then that's it. That's how I'll grade it. It's easier for me because that's a lot of stuff to look at. Why look at 3 when I can look at 1, right? Much easier. But it's easier just to turn it in. So you can turn in your work at school during pod time. If you're remote only though, you definitely have to just take a you can just take a picture of it with your iPad or your parents' iPhone or whatever, and then you just email it to me, and I can see your project that way, right? Now, for sixth graders, I'm actually coming to school. Is it this week? I'm recording. Yeah, I think it'll be for this week. I'm doing this in advance. So you can bring your artwork to school and you can just give it to me during art time, right? Or you can still just turn it into your art folder. So make sure I get your artwork, okay? Turn it in, and remember, if you have an orange square in Power School where your grade is, that means your project is missing. So that means maybe you didn't. If you turned it in, it means maybe you didn't put your name on it. Maybe I didn't get it. I don't know. So, but you can email me. Okay. Okay, great. So, Godzilla of the week. Okay, so here it is, Destroyer. He's pretty awesome. He's kind of scary. He's not that scary. He's cool. Okay, I gotta turn him here. So he's pretty rad. This is the Godzilla monster that kind of helped destroy Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Destroyer. And that was the one where Godzilla is the burning Godzilla. So Godzilla was already weakened. He was like melting down by his nuclear interior. And so this one's really neat. He's kind of scary, but he's cool. It's like a big dinosaur monster guy. All right. So we'll have something to vote for this week. So there he is. He's Dusty. Okay. So let's get on to the art portion of our project. Hi, sixth graders. It's our second week of Zebra Scratch, and we want to continue scratching our zebra onto our paper. We have this photocopy to help us figure out what we need to do, and we can scratch away a lot of white and try to make this look as close and as interesting as possible to this original zebra. Make sure your name is on the back of your paper. It's actually kind of hard to do it in pencil because it's slick. You could use like a thin Sharpie or a marker maybe. Just trying to make sure it doesn't bleed. And put the letter of your teacher. So if you're Corver, you'll put a K, circle it. If you're Vanderkerk, VD, right? Stuff like that. So anyways, here we go. So I'm going to continue working on my zebra here. Now I have a lot of white to fill. So you can see it right here. So what I recommend is that you start in the center. And we kind of talked about that last week a little bit. You want to start on this center part, and then the white will kind of radiate from this spot. So it's this whatever, it's like a diamond. And I'm just going to scrape it away. Can't get a good grip on this. Have a different one. Okay, so I'm going to, and you want this to be mostly white. A lot of students, they get lazy and they don't scrape it away too much. You don't want to be completely solid white either. So what I'll do is I'll show you the difference between not enough white and too much white, I guess. I guess too much white is better than not enough white. But you want to see a little bit of black in there. So let's see. What happens is if some areas are more white, it creates a better contrast. Okay. So let's see here. Do I have a third one? Gosh, Gosh, where is that third one? Oh man. Great. It's almost like I didn't put an extra line in here, so there should be a line here. Okay, here I go. And then this is like right about here. Okay, so now I'm going to do, and these kind of stop right about here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Oof. Remember, you don't want to scratch too hard. You don't want to scratch through the paper. It's kind of an easy thing to do. You want to take your time. If you screw up one of your stripes, just go with it. You know, just, it's, you know, it's easy. It's kind of complicated. So you want to match your picture as close as you can. It's easy to make a mistake. That doesn't mean you're just going to like not try. There's a difference between not trying and like trying and still making a mistake. Like, I understand that. Okay. Okay. So let's see. And it kind of stops right about, okay. It kind of has an abrupt stop, like right about here. All right. Okay. So let's look at this right now. So right now I've got white stripes, but like not very much. Like this one is not very much at all. It's not enough. I get a lot of students want to kind of get away with this. They're like, you know, that's good enough. That's good enough. And like, it's not. It's not. You should get it closer. Like this is better, but I can get this even closer to white. This is better, but watch. I'm gonna so pay attention to what it looks like, and I'm gonna scrape away even more so it's even more white. You want it to be mostly white. You just want a teeny bit of those black marks in there. So let's see how well I can get this. It just takes time. So take your time. Don't, you know, it's going to be a long time scraping away this white stuff. I guess I'm scraping away the black so that you can see the white. Is that it? Okay. Try not to go through the paper. Move your paper clip around so it doesn't like dig a hole. If you keep digging in the same spot, it's going to dig a hole. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay, and you also want to, okay. That's pretty good. Okay. You could probably even go like scrape away even more. But there are, you can tell the difference. See the difference? These look like a gray. These look like a gray. This looks like a white. Why? Because I totally scraped it away. Now there's still a little bit of that black texture in there, and that looks nice. That's what you want. But it's mostly white. This looks white. This looks gray. But these are supposed to look white. Also notice that I got real close to the edge too. So like the white is like right on the edge. Here it's kind of all over the place. So there's not really a defined line. So I can get closer here and kind of scratch this away and make this look cleaner and like brighter, right? And more distinct. So I'll do this one. Ugh. I'll do this one, and then you'll be able to tell the difference. I'm not going to do everything because that'll take forever, but I'll do it enough where you can see the difference, and I'll let you finish yours. So let's see here. So I'm going along the edge, trying to be neatly. Oh, I gotta go over here too. Remember, you can like look at your picture. So here's the picture. All right. So we're going to have a comparison. I'm having a hard time with my paperclip over here. Really? Let me try a different one. If I turn it. It's kind of helping. Sometimes you have to turn your paper clip. Sometimes it'll get into a groove where it works. And so you just got to find that. Like, you know, this is an imperfect science. And so you just have to like, see, I'm having a hard time getting that part. Darn it. Next. Better. So this just takes time. What more can I tell you? I want to get along this edge a little better. Get along this edge a little better. You don't have to scratch too hard. Just make sure it's scratching. Try not to go into your paper. If you do scratch a hole in your paper, then you tape it on the back. So you get a piece of Scotch tape, just tape it on the back. And then try not to scratch there again because you'll make it worse, right? Okay. So I think let's see, do I have enough? Boy, this takes a long time. So take your time. Don't be in such a hurry. That's pretty good. I have a feeling you guys aren't going to scratch enough, so if you have to make an error on you scratched away too much. Actually, that's pretty good. That's about right. You can still see a teeny, like it's not pure white. There's still some little black marks in there. It kind of gives it some nice texture. But you can tell white, and this is like a gray. This is just not finished. I mean, you could start this way and then kind of go back and scrape it away and make it look good. Remember, it's important to like here, I didn't really, like there's a big hole here. Like it's not really along the edge perfectly, like especially here, it kind of fades. I was very careful to scratch all the way to the edge to get a real nice distinct line. And so that's pretty important. Okay. Now, some things to keep in mind. This photocopy is kind of scratched up. Look at this nose. You're like, oh my gosh, Mr. Smith, do I like put all these weird scratch marks on the nose? No, not really. That I think the photocopy on the nose got scratched. And is there supposed to be like scratch across like that? No, that was just about the photocopy, like these scratch marks like on the eye and stuff like that. Let me just kind of do the nose and let's see if we can get a better looking nose here. Now, the inside the nostrils are going to be black because it's like inside the nose, right? But we can have some lines around the nose that kind of hint that it's lighter, like the light is hitting around the nose. Here, I'll do this nostril and then I'll show you the as opposed to. So I'm kind of scraping some like lines around it. I want to embolden the line around the bottom of his nose. It's not really his nose. It's like what is it? What do you call this thing? Well, it's like this is his nose, but his mouth is underneath it. It's not muzzle, is it? I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. And then let's see, he can have some kind of like, here, we can put some kind of line, like hair. He's got hair, right? So he can have some kind of hair coming down here. I'll show you what this looks like. You can have some hair. Okay, so let's look at this. So here, this is kind of just the outline. And so here I kind of like, I boldened or made this line thicker along the edge of his kind of nose, snout. And then here it's like I'm scraping around it, and I can scrape a little more, so it kind of looks like there's light hitting. Usually the light would hit right here too. So here, I'll do that. It's not on your photocopy, but I'll show you. Light would be hitting like right on top of his nose, so it'd probably be lighter. There'd be like a highlight here. Kind of like, and then you can kind of, let's see, well, it's getting there. And then you can blend this stuff. You can blend it with these lines, like these are kind of like hairlines. So I'm gonna do this one now. And I'm gonna blend out this nose. I'm gonna kind of have some of these hairs kind of come out, kind of fill the rest of his mouth a little bit. Now it's darker down here, so I'm not gonna totally like go all the way to the bottom because that's the darkest part. But like I'm kind of putting some lines around his nostrils, and that signifies or illustrates light kind of hitting around his nose. And then I'm kind of gonna put some light lines around his nose to kind of show that light is generally hitting his nose area, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm gonna brighten this up. This is like the highlight. These lines are called hatching, although normally they're black lines. Okay. I can have some lines kind of blend down from these stripes and kind of blend them. Okay, so let me show you what I did. And I want this line to be bolder, like this edge. I want it to be thicker along the edge here to kind of. Okay, so let's see what I did. I mean, maybe you saw it, but I'll show you. So look what I'm trying to do here. He kind of has a highlight here because it would kind of be like I can't show you, but like it's kind of like this is the top of his nose, and then here it kind of goes down, right? Kind of, you know. So I added some lines here to kind of represent a highlight. We're scratching in the highlights, and then I blended lines around his nostrils. The inside the nostrils is just black because it's like, you know, whatever. It's like inside, right? So it'd be dark. And then I added some of these lines, and notice how they kind of follow the shape of his nose. They're not just like straight down. Like they kind of follow the shape. Those are like contour lines, and they follow the shape. It's kind of like a rounded nose shape. And like even these aren't perfectly, like these aren't very round. They're almost kind of straight. But I kind of rounded some of them. Like these are kind of going that way, and then these are kind of straighter, and then these are kind of going that way a little bit. To kind of follow, let me see if I can do it. I can't, it's hard to do it. To kind of follow the shape of that nose. And so that's pretty good. Let's see, he's got like I don't know, what does he got? The rest is, you just want to fill in the stripes. The stripes are tricky. Now, I traced them last time, so it's kind of hard. So just be real careful. You're going to follow this picture, and you're just going to try to draw those in. I'm not going to draw them, but you can see them. Like you can see I traced them last time. They're very thin. And you're going to try to trace those as carefully as you can, fill them in white like this. And then I would fill in these with white. I wouldn't leave that gray like that. This is tricky. So if you screw up, just try your best and just try to match this as best you can, right? On his mane, you want to notice that there's like some big lines. They kind of represent bristly hair, and that's kind of what you want to get with this. So let me see if I can do some of these lines. You can do some like bristly, longer lines. Yeah, and then they're, oops. See, I'm kind of going into the, it's hard not to go into the paper. There, that's not bad. So I kind of did it. So they're just bristly, right? And then it kind of keeps going down this way. So they'll probably have some bristly lines here. And then it kind of continues down here. And then let's see, do I have a stripe in there? I probably should. Let's see. It's probably like, they don't really show you a stripe. They kind of like hint at a stripe here, but they don't go up all the way. So I'm just gonna put a stripe here. And it would go all the way up here, and then maybe a little one here. And then of course you'd want to fill it in more white, like. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. So it's getting there. It's getting there, right? Let's see. I have a. Oh yeah, I gotta finish this line like it goes this stripe. It goes all the way down to here. Now let me show you. There's a lot of, this is a bad photocopy. There's all these like little marks and things in here, and it's like, do I do those? Like these itty bitty little marks? No. But let me show you what you can do. Remember, the zebra is covered in fur. Now, he has real delicate, thin fur, like a bristle brush almost. And so you wouldn't, this almost looks pretty good, but this is like a result of the photocopy. There's like all this mess over here. Like we'll leave this part black, right? That's just it's just a bad photocopy. So, but what can I do? Can I add some thin lines in here? You can actually, and it will help kind of blend your stripes a little bit. Like on the face, you want these stripes to be neat and tight because there's so little space to add all those little stripes, and so you want to, like, I want to be able to see this black line clearly. But here I got like this big gaping black kind of spot, and it's like, do I just leave that black, or can I add some extra lines? Once you start adding a lot of lines, it might look weird to have just a big blank black spot. That's why we kind of added some lines that kind of follow the shape of the nose here. Can I do the same with the neck? Yeah. So like I can add a couple lines, like just a few lines here. Not too many, right? But they'll go in there, and it'll kind of help give the texture illusion like in the black part of the zebra too, right? And then you can also put a couple lines near the stripe to kind of make it blend in, so it's not such a perfect stripe. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let me see if you'll be able to see it. Well, so I'm going to go like line here. Okay. Maybe one here. So I'm kind of adding some lines there. Not too many. So I added some of these lines in here. It kind of makes it look like it blends into the black stripe a little better. But I don't recommend it in here. Like maybe I could put one here, but these are, like I said, these are so close together. It's better to like keep it, like I wouldn't put any in here. Maybe I could put one or two lines in here. Let me try it. I could go. There. So I did it a little bit. You can kind of see it. So it's like here, just a little bit. It kind of helps blend it in. But like I said, I wouldn't put it in here. There's not enough room, right? Okay, so I did it here. And then what about a couple lines here and there? Like, can I do some straight lines? Yeah, but follow the form of your zebra. Well, this is the zebra neck, and it's kind of going down this way. It's kind of curved a little. So like I might add some lines. Let's see if I can do it here. Like not everywhere, just kind of like maybe every other one. and then you can maybe double some up. Like double up meaning you put a couple lines close to each other. Let's see. There. You don't want to do too many though. I want to put some like right on this edge. I want to kind of put some lines here kind of to make it transit, like kind of blend it a little. There. Maybe some lines here to blend it. Okay, so let's look at it. That's what I did. There, see? See. So you can see not a lot of lines, but just some, and they kind of follow the shape of his neck, right? And then I added a couple little blending lines in here, just some short little lines to kind of blend it. You're like, wow, can I do that? Yeah, you can. It's okay. Like, this is your project too, so like it's going to look different than this photocopy. And using some of these lines, what they do is like it helps us see the texture in the fur. Like this is a black stripe, but there's still going to be some little texture in there. Whereas in his eyes, there's not going to be any texture in his eyes, because they're smooth and they're kind of glossy. His eyes. So these are going to be, there's no texture in there. There might be a little bit of texture in here, but you know, you could leave them black, right? Like if there was texture, it'd be kind of like down here because light would kind of be hitting a little bit at the beginning of the nostril, and then as it goes further into the nostril, it'd be black, right? So I mean, I'll show you. Like if you wanted to add, let's see if I can get this to work. Like I can add a little bit. You don't have to though. I'm just going to show you. I'm trying to follow the nose shape, but I'm kind of failing. Okay. Okay. I don't know. So let's see. I don't know. Do you like this? So it kind of looks like, so I added some lines in here and like they're a little thicker at the front and then they get smaller and then there's like nothing. So it kind of feels like light is kind of hitting the tip of this part of the nostril, and then as it goes deeper into the nostril, it's dark. It's like shadow. So I mean, these are things you can think about to help you. You can add little lines. You want to add a couple little detail lines, like little scratch marks in here. Go for it. I mean, that will make your zebra look really neat. You're looking at your eyelash. Like I want to make my eyelashes a little bigger. Can I do that? Yeah. I mean, not longer necessarily, but like you can make them a little bolder. You're going to add in all these details and stuff like that. But this is the kind of stuff that you want to think about as you go. So you want to finish these stripes. You want to finish these details. Like you can even add a couple lines in here. I can add just a couple. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Let me try it over here. Okay, I'll add some lines down here. See, this is all supposed to be white. Ugh, it's not working. Whatever, you get the idea. Add some lines in here. Maybe add a couple lines in here. I don't know. I added a couple lines in here, a couple in here, a couple in here, a couple in here. But remember, you want to kind of follow the shape, or they're like hair, so like they're not just straight, or you know, like I was trying to follow this, you know, they're kind of curving this way. But that's it. That's that, and you want to finish it. So like I didn't finish my zebra because that'll take another 20 minutes, but you will finish your zebra, scratch in all those. You follow the handout. Remember last time we traced it, so hopefully you have some lines, but they are delicate lines. It's kind of hard to do, but just I recommend you start at the center and then you kind of add this, and then you add this, and then you kind of add these. You kind of add in the white, maybe focus on one side and kind of get that all done, and then you go over here and finish that. But that is, normally I would say there's like a light source hitting, but we have so much white. I guess we'll save that for another project. But normally the light is coming from the top, so technically I wouldn't do too much, but you could maybe scratch some extra lines in here. It'd be a little lighter here. I don't know. I would leave it. You want to see those black lines. It'll look good. Okay, so that's it. So finish your zebra. This is due October the 8th. Make sure you put your name on the back of your paper. Make sure you can read it. And then turn it in to your art folder during pod time in your class. If you don't know where your art folder is, you can just ask your teacher. You're like, where can I turn in my art? And your teacher may not know. I told them to put it in the art folder, but they might have forgot. So you say, Mr. Smith said just to put it in the art folder. And your teacher will be like, oh, it's over there. And you just put it in your art folder. I put the supplies in the art folder, and you can turn your projects into the art folder too. So that's where you put it.
I mean, unless your teacher has a different place, so like, no, I'll put it over here. That's fine. I don't care. Wherever your teacher wants you to turn in your art, it's fine by me. But I set it up so you just put it into the art folder. So that's it. So finish your zebra. He's due October the 8th. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you in class. I'm going to be coming to class. In fact, I think I'm coming to class this week. The week I show you this, I'll be, well, not in everybody's classroom. So it's sixth grade. I'm gonna see you every other week for a half hour. So we're actually going to do something different in class, but you still need to finish this at home. So I'll see half of you next week in class, and then you'll still have videos to do at home. So you'll finish your zebra this week, and we'll do something in class. It'll be different, and then that'll be it. So finish your zebra, turn it in. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll see you in class next week. Bye. Have a good week.